He is off at his pre-wedding dinner for his sister this evening, so I won't be joining us today, but we do have Geoff in the room. Geoff, it's time for the technicians' 2 cents worth. Technically, what's going on, mate? It's been a big week.
Mate, it has in some circles, that's true. In my circles, I thought it was a little bit boring, to be honest. We were waiting for a few things to happen. That really never did. And let's hope that that will be the case. That won't be the case this week, and we'll actually get some action. I'm going to start with, well, really, I see two currencies that are really interesting. One of them is the yen, the other one is the CAD. And I haven't included the yen in my charts this week because I think it's just a little bit too tricky now, but I'll certainly be watching things like Aussie yen and Kiwi yen for potential downside. I need to see a few things before that happens, however, as I will need to do on this particular pair, CAD Swiss. Now, CAD Swiss, as most of you who are in the show and in Ash and my show on the weekdays will know, I love to see bars that are reversal bars, that are key reversal bars. This is one of them, and it's on a weekly chart. It's CAD Swiss on the weekly chart. It's a key reversal bar, as I've noted down here. Also a double top, and it is at a resistance level. Now, that resistance level, if you have a look at the monthly chart, is very, very difficult to actually get that level because of the squeeze that we've had since the 1st of January 2015, of course, and we all know about that. However, I think we are at a strong resistance level, certainly on the weekly chart. Well, if you have a look at that trend line there on the monthly, you can see that we are at a resistance level. We've got a double top. We've got a horizontal level running through there as well. Do I want to trade that bar? Answer, no. That's the weekly chart. Reason, I think it's a little bit too tight on the monthly pivot, which could give us a little bit of a bounce. That said, if I narrow it down to the smaller time frames, I'll certainly be looking for a lower high in here somewhere. So daily chart, even 4-hourly chart, we can go down to, maybe we've even got that lower high at the moment. Weekly pivot's not going to move too much, given that we're pretty much at a doji week. But it's probably in here somewhere. Maybe a break and retest of that is interesting. Maybe even another trend line or trade line coming through here, hit that and go short. That is the pretty much the basis on which I'll be looking throughout the week. Aussie Swiss is interesting as well, not that much different, except maybe it has already turned over. Double top sitting here. But we've got a bit of a dilemma here. Which one do we take as the main theme? I've got a daily key resistance here. Key reversal here in this bar here. Key reversal, for those of you who don't know, is just one that's going in a direction that's pointing me towards where it's headed. And this one here, because it's got a lower low than the previous bar and a close on or near its high, is telling me it wants to go long. However, we have had a break of this key level, this key horizontal level, which is around about the 70.25 mark or something like that. And we've also had a retest with this bar. So I'm not yet convinced which way this one's going, but I'm very keen on trading it at this level. So if we get back into that range, or if we close above the high of Friday's bar and then come back and retest the bottom of that horizontal level, aka descending triangle, I think there's probably a long on here. Maybe not go too far, but on the smaller time frames it may be tradable. The other way to look at it is that retest bar there may well be the precursor to further downside. So have a look at that one as well. It may be worth an entry underneath that bar, even with a stop loss above it. Interesting. There's a little bit of a confluence there in levels, but it's a place I'd like to trade from, but I'm not sure what the direction is just yet. The dollar Sing is another one that's interesting. And the reason it's interesting is because it's at the top of a range. We've had a very, very big false break of that range, come back inside, and now we're doing these ones again, top to bottom, bottom to top. Big key reversal bar there on the daily on Friday. I don't want to trade that. because primarily it's a big bar. That may not give us much reward. The middle of this range is stacked with pivots, and I'd much rather see a bounce off those and then a lower high and then look to trade it down to the short side. That's dollar Sing. Euro Aussie, an upside down one, if you like, of pretty much exactly what we looked at before on Aussie Swiss, pardon me, unsurprisingly. But again, we're at the top of a range here, and we have put in, it's not a key reversal bar, but it is a reversal bar off resistance. Interestingly, to me anyway, the daily resistance has produced what you can call a tweezer top if you like. I'd prefer to see a tweezer top up here, to be honest, but it's certainly there. And the same applies. I want to see a lower high here before I trade this short. The alternative, of course, is if we break that to the high side and maybe come back and retest it, then I think the long is in play. You do have a fairly key double bottom here, gone into range, yes, but there's a couple of significant higher lows in here as well. This could easily break out to the high side, and if it does, I think that that retest would be very, very interesting for a long. Going back to the CAD theme, and the top of, in my opinion, CAD's at resistance level. The same could be said of this pound CAD, which of course is going in the opposite direction. Interesting range that we've been in for quite some time, and I'm of the opinion that if we got a false break of this trade line on a weekly chart, and I'm talking probably July before we actually get there, but that theme is quite in my mind. Interesting, therefore, to understand why I'm bullish here. And I'm only bullish on the back of this, the daily key reversal bar and an inside bar. Otherwise, I think the bottom here is the best place to get into this, or let it break to the low side, come back here, retest it, and away we go. So that's the bigger picture. But on the inside of that, we've got this key reversal bar, this one here, followed by an inside bar, and it's one of the things that I do like to trade. The weekly pivot's going to come up to here, give us a little bit of support underneath that as well, one would think. And I think if you're willing to trade that bar, you could take profit at the monthly pivot. And if it does go south, get safe in the market at that level. If it goes long, then you'll get a free ride up to here somewhere, which would be pretty cool. So there's potentially an entry here. I want to see what the market does, obviously, on Monday morning. If it gaps, then everything can change. But at the moment, I think there's an entry above that bar, above Friday's bar. You'd probably want to sneak your stop loss below the swing. And then take your profit here at the monthly pivot, get safe in the market. If it goes, it goes, happy days. If it comes back and does what the bigger picture is telling me, then that doesn't matter. We'll still be a little bit of a winner. So there you go. Again, I think the CAD is at resistance. I think the yen needs a little bit of a change as well. And I'll be looking for Aussie yen and Kiwi yen early in the week to show me that. So that is my 2 cents worth.
It's funny, mate. I always have a feeling that your 2 cents worth is worth more than 2 cents. But thank you very much for the analysis. Always good to see a technician's view on these things. Look, we are going to wind this up today with a prize. I wanted to remind you guys that we'll be back next week, and that with the lockdown in Singapore, we will be looking to do a bit of extra content over coming weeks. Cheers, Geoff. We're doing a bit of extra content over coming weeks. We're going to start next Sunday with Julian doing 2 hours of a macro market overview before this show starts. So I think we start at 5:30 Sing. So around 3:30 Sing, we'll have Julian on for 2 hours doing that kind of macro market stuff that he's so good at, answering your questions as well. We'll be offering a bit of extra content. We're talking on Monday about what else we can do during this lockdown period to see if we can keep Singaporeans with a little bit to do inside those houses. I'm sure for all of us, that stuff is a bit tough. So we're going to try and make it as good as we possibly can for you guys. Now, before we go tonight, we are going to do a prize draw. We'll start to do a prize draw regularly on this show. The prize is a $50 ATW voucher, and will spread the word. Now, if you're on Facebook or YouTube and you write your name in, then we will put you into the draw for this. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can just post your name and I'll add it to the draw quickly, and we will do that. And if you've asked any questions today, we will put you in. I'm not sure, hi, how are you as a question, but if you've asked any questions, while we're doing that, I will quickly answer David's question. It's a bit beyond what we're doing in this show. There are plenty of shows we can do this for David. But David was asking, I'm trying to decide my high time frame for intraday trading entry on the 5 minute. Like I've been trying to mark levels on the daily, but I'm supposed to wait for pullbacks before. Look, what I do when I'm doing levels, when I'm doing time frames, David, is I miss one. So first of all, I would advise you, unless you're a professional, an experienced trader, not to trade on a 5 minute chart. It's just a graveyard for retail traders. It's just about making brokers as much money as they can possibly make. I would stay away. But if you're insistent on it, what I do when I'm doing time frames is I miss one level. So if I was going to trade a 5 minute chart, I'd skip the 15. I'd do my analysis on a 30. Now, I don't really like being that short of time frame. Often what I do is I'll do my analysis on a daily and trade on an hourly, or I'll do my analysis on a 4 hourly and trade on a 30 minute. I don't think I'd be prepared to go below an hour, actually. So I'd probably do the hour as a analysis area, and then I would trade on the 5 minute. But again, I want to encourage you that all that trading on a 5 minute chart does is keep you very, very busy. And in my view, not easy as far as making money on those time frames. There tends to be, big weeks, bad weeks, big weeks, bad weeks, and it's quite tough emotionally to take that ride. I'd encourage you to trade on longer time frames, but if you're going to, maybe an hour for your analysis. Maya, are we ready? Right. Maya's now going to bring up her screen, and we're going to do a $50 ATW credit giveaway. You can have this, any ATW product, you can put this towards that you like. Here we go. These are the people in the room. We've got Roy on YouTube. Thanks for posting in that you're in there. If you're on YouTube and you want to do these things, just let us know. Oh, it's tight. Is it Richard? Richard, you're just going to need to post in and let us know that you're there. If you post it in the next 15 seconds, you will get the prize. If you don't, we'll do a redraw. So all you've got to do is say, there we are. Richard's put his hand up. Richard, I'd like you to put something in the comments, because then Mike can reply to you and tell you that she will send the details off to James. She can put in a couple of extra details from you. Can you just put a chat to panelists? Thanks, Richard. Perfect. Richard's our winner. He will get a $50 ATW voucher. Thanks for joining us, guys. And look, if you have any ideas on products that we can offer over the next 3 or 4 weeks to help the lockdown pass, and let me know. I'm happy to have a look at anything we can do during this time. I know from having done a couple of these things myself that they're no fun, and Singaporeans have done them before and done them bloody well, and we'd like to provide you some content at some time and etc. that suits you guys, to see if we can help pass the time. So if you have any ideas, let us know and we will do that. Otherwise, have a good week trading. And remember, guys, when you're working from home, the temptation to overtrade is pretty strong. Just stay calm and make good decisions. That's it from me, and thanks to the team for the generous nature of this sharing. Thanks to all of you who joined us today. Thank you guys all very much. As you all know, this show will now get cut up into individual sections for each of the traders and reposted on YouTube in about half an hour's time. And after that, we will replay this whole session tomorrow morning as well. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us. See you guys next week or before. See you all. Thanks, guys. See you, Paul.